There are no errors ever. Words were said to me yesterday. That settled. I woke up this morning and now I have all the rest of the answers. So I'm going to put it in a video here. I now know why I am so different from everyone else on the planet. It became so clear yesterday. It's the lady who lives over there that has cats. Are the cats here? I help her with her cats because they live at my yard. She made me a margarita and she said words that triggered this. So, what I know now, I understand why I am so weird to all of you, and I'm going to explain why. In this video, I'm going to put Mount Shasta and Sedona, Arizona out of business. The things that we believe we need for a spiritual journey, you need nothing. You need nothing. You are all you need. So here's the scoop. My journey started in the fall of 2016. I was walking down the street in Puyallup, Washington. My life was vanilla. I was a radio personality, successful in Seattle, in the market. It was amazing. I got paid to talk. My daughter was doing well in school. My husband was the mayor. It was like my life was vanilla. And I got sick sometimes. I don't get sick now. So I stopped on 23rd Street. I looked up and I said, my life isn't working. I don't know who you are, but as of this moment, I'm giving you my life. Have you heard Jesus Take the Wheel? It's in a song. You bought it then. I'm handing you my life. And at that moment, I was standing on 23rd Street, 3 lanes, cars going by. And I'm like, I hand you my life. And I started snickering. I'm like, oh, what if I'm here forever? At that moment, I was told, go that way. And I have never looked back. I, since then, have met you. I've met you. I met you. I met you. You were on a spiritual journey. And so we mingled, we met, and I saw you. I learned about you. And then I became that. I raised to that elevation. And then you stopped. You stopped growing. And so I left you because you were okay where you were. And then I met you. And then I met you. And I met you. And you died. And you brought your body back to life. You're out of your body often. You had to smoke to be grounded, to stay in your body. Your entire life, you have known this information. I discovered it the fall of 2016. Mount Shasta, Sedona, people come from all over because they hear about this spiritual stuff, this stuff we're capable of. You have no freaking clue what you're capable of. Here is why. And it all came so clear. Here is why. The words that she said were, there's a woman that was a paid channel, but she's not doing that anymore. I'm like, okay. Here's where I come from. The fall of 2016, I looked up and I said, okay, I don't know who you are, but I've always known there was something more. I just didn't know how to access it. I said, I don't know who you are. I'm surrendering. And then I stood there and I'm like, okay, now what? And you told me go that way. Since that moment, almost 9 years ago, I never make a decision. I don't choose. I surrendered. I said, okay, I'm giving you my life. But I did it. I actually did it. So for those of you who are a mom, you're a grandma, you're a sister, you're an uncle, you're a brother, you came here with a plan and a path. All of my work, the bridge that I just put myself through hell for 9 months to write, explains all of this. I've had to live it. I've had to go through every experience, horrific things you won't be able to comprehend. But I lived it and I was like, oh my God, God did that? God did that? You all are spiritual. You believe in God, and yet you believe you're responsible for other human beings. You are carrying people and saying, I own you. I need to be your protector and take care of you. For instance, the woman that I was on a path with, and she kept saying, please don't leave me, stay in my path. All of her friends were dying. I'm like, I'm here forever. I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, just stay with me elevationally. You have to stay at my vibration because I can't stay at yours because I'm not going to be plugged into your human life. So I kept going and I kept growing and I unplugged from my sister. I don't have a sister. It's like, oh my God, the relief that I've had to carry her and be there for her because I couldn't die. I had to be there for her too, for her to unload on. And I wrote a book for her, but she didn't read it. So, but I have no humans in my life. None. I don't talk on the phone because I don't have friends. The woman who made me the margarita, she owns the cat, and I've got a neighbor. I know the check for the grocery store and the waiters, and that's it. So when I surrendered, I said, you show me the way, and I followed it. Everywhere it takes me, I go. I finally left my family home in Puyallup. I was stuck to Newport, Oregon, where I met God. I connected to who I've been working for and who's been moving me along since I surrendered. When you surrender, you do not decide. You say, okay, you show me the way. And the way is always shown. The middleman carried the human, the person that I was when I was a normal operating human in Puyallup. I was eliminated as that human. The ego dissolved in Newport, Oregon, because I surrendered. I'm like, you take the wheel. And so you, your higher self, the person who drives this bus, who climbed into this body as much as it could to operate this vehicle while I'm on this planet, they're above me. They're the puppet master. They're operating my strings. They show me directly where to go. I go direct. I do not plan. I do not look at and forecast and I just am silent. I make no movement. And then I'm told, get in the car and drive to the store. And there it happens. I do nothing. I am in surrender. So while you're still thinking you need to be a grandma and managing those grandkids because they're having behaviors that you do not agree with, you are not supposed to be in their life. They know who they are and why they're here, but they've been brought into a world where we believe we're somebody's children and we're handed video games to keep us happy while we're sitting on the couch watching TV, and we don't go outside and discover who we are. We have become a nation, a world of people who believe money is why we're here. No, 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 no. So I left money, I left people, I left everybody. I stepped into this path. And when you are in surrender, you are shown the way. I will never be sick again. The things that I've experienced, that God has put me through to show me what we are capable of. But you guys think you need to be responsible for that kid or that guy or that guy. No, the book, The Bridge, is about we come here, we are to be born and left alone. Show us how to do our potties, show us how to eat, show us what food is, show us what the world is, but don't give us your freaking opinion. Show us the food, show us the bathroom, and then let us find our village because we know the way. We came here not to make money, not to have jobs, not to go to college, not to drive the most expensive Lexus on the planet, whatever the car of the day is. I don't even know what's a fancy car. We came here to step away from the other people and to be silent and to find our path. And in doing so, I no longer have family. I have no friends. I work with God and my panel on the other side. I will not be sick. And I've written 7 books. The Bridge was living hell. I had to go through 1 year for this book to come through. The download started when Jim said on September 7th, Simon Sinek's why. He just had to say those words and he didn't know why, then off he went. That was the first download. I got our why the planet is so screwed up. And that just started it. I became the man that I thought was going to be in my life, came back into my life and cracked me open when I had released everything and every human. He opened my heart and broke me. And then I realized I had love for 3-4 days. I allowed myself to feel like I was somebody's babe. And then I told him, I'm not your drive-by girlfriend. Not that I'd ever see the man again. He was in another state. I said, go away. And at that moment, I was told, go to the mountain, go to Mount Shasta. And I said, I see it. I was told, get in your car and go. 13 miles I drove and I walked up to the rock I was supposed to sit on. And there's a woman coming down, banging a drum and chanting as I walk up. I'm like, are you kidding me? I lay on a rock for 5 hours on Mount Shasta on September 14th when I was raw. My heart was open. I was broken. And that was when I started making TikTok videos about things that I've never even thought about. I stood up and I made videos. And then I stood up and I started dictating in my phone as I paced all around the mountain. That started September 7th. September 14th is when the bridge started coming through. And I have been away from you ever since then. I haven't been around people. I've had to be isolated in my home in Mount Shasta. I've traveled to Las Vegas for a month. I traveled to the coast. I traveled everywhere I was told to go. And I'm set to who I need to see. I have the conversations I need to have. And in doing so, I've been brought back here to Mount Shasta, where the bridge is now complete. It's 7 volumes, 1,500 pages, and it's all dictated. I haven't started going back to it yet, but it's going to explain what happened to the planet, what happened, where we went wrong. It's everything. So I surrendered. I did what you all talk about, you people who go to church. It's like surrender, let God drive. But you think you're in charge. You think you're in charge of your life. No, I surrendered. I'm like, all right, family, people that we were all plugged in. We thought we were supposed to be together and share DNA and have history and like ancestry. No, 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 no. I just needed a vessel to drop me here as an egg. And that was my mother. She was the world's worst mother. She was exactly what I needed. She dropped the egg and let me flail. And I found the path. I found what we are all looking for. I have been on this journey with ascended masters, people who have flocks of sheep, looking at them and their consciousness studies and all the things that they know they are so brilliant. Yet I was a line in the sand they could not cross. They could not believe I could be real. What I was going through as they were on my team and we were all pals, they're like, whoa, no, this isn't real. You've crossed a line. But guess what? Every single one of those people, they have people in their life. They have relationships, situationships. They are mom, sister, brother, uncle, girlfriend, boyfriend, all those things that we are not to be. You are here with a path and a plan. That thing that you remember at your smallest childhood memory before you started mimicking the stock market and the doctor and the dinosaur chaser. The things that people do that you start, policeman, you thought you wanted to be because people around you were? No, that childhood dream, that thing like me, seeing myself as a little kid standing on stage in front of thousands of people speaking, but I didn't know what I was talking about. So I was singing, I sang, but it wasn't right because that was like, look at me, look what I could do. No, look what I found out is why I'm here. And so I've been silent. I've been away from all humans for 1,200 plus days, completely isolated, 6-foot fence. You couldn't do what I've done, but I did this to show you why we're here. We are not here to get married and sign contracts saying we're going to do this for the rest of our godforsaken life, paradise by the dashboard light. No, we're not here for that. Man is ruining his own nest. That book. Yeah, these are my books. Here's the bridge. Man is ruining his own nest. I suggest you go to Amazon and read the sneak preview, because right there, I talk about love and relationships. I rewrite the 10 commandments, basically, because they came from the sky. Carrie Palmer didn't decide what to make them. Hell no. No, I'm silent and I decide nothing. I am the puppet master, the ego, the in-between. She does not exist anymore. When you let yourself surrender, you will work directly with your higher self, which is so much more than anything on this planet. You will sense your abilities, an unlimited nature. You will be abundant but the thing is, you will never have more than you need. The world has become a place where we want so much, but we're so freaking empty, so we keep wanting more. Yeah, it's not about money. We are all we need. When you step into this path, When you surrender and you stop deciding that you think you want that, you just let it go and you just trust, throw your paddles in the water, let your boat take you. You get sucked into this vortex. You're in your lane and it just sucks you right through to the good stuff. There's no in between or waiting because you and the thoughts in your head are no longer in the way. When the girl told me that the woman was a channel for money, but she doesn't do it anymore, it was like it hit me and I parked it. And that's when it came back this morning because this journey for me started 9 years ago in the fall. And once it started, it was like, okay, it's on. I literally surrendered. I was all in, and it came in a form of a trail of breadcrumbs in books were my downloads, like 78 books that I received that were my path. But when she said that, I'm like, and I think this is the problem. This is the problem with the woman who's the grandma in Washington who she's a spiritual being. She's died. She's come back to life. She's left her body. I There's no switch for me. When I said I was in, I gave up the human life and I turned and I walked this way. And so I'm there. And so all this information and I'm learning and the growth and the people who come to you, it's been nonstop. So when she said she was a paid channel, but she's no longer, I'm like, to me, these words that people have, if somebody has information about you and I share everything with everyone I get information for, there's many people who've received messages from me and I say, I am just the receiver. Do not respond to me. Talk to God. If I need, I'll come back again. So when you're a receiver and you send, first of all, I would never charge you for that because we all need to know that we can do this. And so my content is always going to be videos are free. I will get paid to do my talks and I will get paid for my book royalties. But other than that, I want you to have access to all of my stuff because this is the path to becoming who you are, ringing the bell and winning at life and never being ill, never being sick, and knowing that you walked into your ultimate potential. So these people that they're on the path, they're being human, but they're spiritual. It's like, I don't understand this because when I discovered the spiritual part, the human part no longer mattered because the spiritual part was everything because spiritual is part of all that is so much more than earth and your car and your house and your checkbook. So spiritual means I realized I'm in a body, but I'm just using this while I'm here. And now that I found the path, which you've all found, but you're still plugged into being human. I don't understand. Are you human or are you spirit in a body? That's where I really see the disconnect. So once I've discovered this path, I stepped into it. I'm all in. I'm doing it. And then I meet people who come to Mount Shasta and they're like, oh, spiritual. And they believe all these things like, oh, if you don't shop at Berryvale, then you're eating the wrong stuff. No, nothing can hurt you. You don't need organic. You don't need anything. So there's division by people by it's like, oh, we're an extra spiritual because we're this way. No, you're spiritual. When you connect to who you are, you eliminate the need to be human, to show other people anything and to be anything they need you to be. You just step into who you are and everybody else because they don't matter. You have a path and a plan. Mine was writing 7 books and speaking. That's my path. What's yours? If you're working in a job, if you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, you're a florist, what is your path? Not what are you doing as a human? You have a path and a plan. You have something you came here to do, but instead we were told the story that you need to find a partner, get married for life, do all these things, which clearly that hasn't worked out well. And as we all know, and everything this book is about, which is the top of everything, is there is division in our world because somehow we allowed men to say we're on top and women are down here, so they've kept us. No, 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 no. Immediately when this book started, we are equal. There is no division between men and women, colors, anything. We are all born different shapes, sizes, everything in between. But we all have no pockets and we're not holding anybody's hand. Even if you're twins, you go your own way. You have your own path. So the thing is, we need to be free to, when we're born, become who we are and go with my video about the chicken and the egg. The chicken is not come out of the shell and like carry its shell. Like I got to carry my mommy with me. No, the shell cracks, the chicken is gone. That's who we are. The mothers are merely the vessels to get babies here. They don't own you. And the fathers merely are the sperm donors. The second they light the cigarette, they are done. Nobody is responsible for anyone. But we are not here to be humans living a human path, having a little spirituality. We're supposed to allow ourselves to be a spiritual being that we came here to be. Step into our greatness. You won't need any of the human constructs. You won't need a big bank account. Everything you need is provided. So decide, do you want to be a spirit living in your body while you're here? We do not matter. The body doesn't matter. We are not special, but people in the other world, they believe they're special. So if you want to just be who you are, trust that you are not special. Your spirit is magnificent. It is why you came here to produce something amazing. You're just borrowing this body. So don't make a big deal out of the body. It is not a big deal. It doesn't even have needs. You created those as well. You are a spirit occupying a body if you choose to. Or you can choose to be a rich kid who just has passive income and you're not happy. You don't accomplish anything. You're like, why is my world so empty? Because you have it all within you. You are the path and the plan. Get away from family. It's gone. The bridge is dissolving. Everything. Coming to Mount Shasta and Sedona, which is where my journey started. I went to Sedona for clarity. I stood on the rocks and I screamed, clarity now. And I met Alden. The last thing he had to do before he died was meet me. And that is this book that is not published because I'm just sitting here waiting for somebody to publish me. I'm just the writer. I am the receiver. I met Alden. The last thing he had to do before he died was meet me. We were going to run away together. We never even touched hands, but he died. But once he died, that's when Jen talked to him and the abilities started showing up. The automatic writing. I just had to meet him in person. We didn't have to touch. In person we met because that was what we planned before we were born. That meeting popped the bubble and I opened. All my pipes were cleaned. I was connected to the sky. When you're connected to the sky, you are those pictures you see of everybody floating upward. You are that. You are ascending because you're no longer a human. There are two worlds here. I am living through spirit using a body. Everyone else is living in a body being a human with responsibilities. You don't need to. You know the way. When you step away from the family unit that was created that should not exist, get the hell out to nature, go away, listen to the voice in the sky, put your phone away because the only thing you're using that for is keeping you distracted from your story. The only thing between you and your path, it's like I did this in another video. It's like, this is where you are. Here's you, here's your path. But we've created this huge bubble of family, responsibility, expectations, things that do not exist. You created them. If you let them go, you go from here to here, you find your path and you're connected. Anything that you're plugged into in your head, anything you have thoughts about, if you have a dog, a cat, a car that breaks down, it's keeping you from this. So when you're in surrender, you have nothing you care about. Nothing matters. You trust that everything will be provided. And it is. Nothing can ever harm you. Nothing can ever get in your way. Because the only thing between you and your path is you. The thoughts in your head, the beliefs. So when you come to a place like Mount Shasta, you go a place like Soul Connections, and you talk to that lady in the corner who's telling you your life, you're handing your life over. You know the way. Do not come to Mount Shasta and go into a store to buy things. Come to Mount Shasta, go to the mountain and sit. You do not need a pendulum, a crystal, a guru, or a retreat. All you need is your connection to source. Anything that you purchase or classes you take, people you talk to that you're going to let tell you your way, that creates thought bubbles. That is an energy that's going to keep you from becoming who you are. You know the way. Jesus, take the wheel. Surrender. Don't give any labels, names, anybody credit. We are soul. We are spirit occupying a body. When you throw out the human story and the expectations and you just step right into who you are, That is where the magic is. It's right here, right now, and it happens immediate. But nothing happens for you because you plan, you practice, you work, you 401k, you have to release. When you surrender and you say, I'm handing you the wheels, you got to do it. If you try and say, but I'm just going to keep working with that kid because he needs me, you're not doing it. So I was all in, and that's how I received the bridge. And that's how I've done everything I've done because I'm like, all right, I'm all in. I was brought down this path because it was planned before my grandfather was born, because I was with him at his pre-birth planning session because he had to get me to this space where my mom was horrible so I could do this. So family, if you look at it, you're going to say, I mean, if you look at how family affects you and how much you hate them ultimately, but you're told you got to love them and so you carry them. If you can release those people, just say, okay, for now, let's just say, I would say for a month, just say for a month, let's just all pretend like we don't even know each other. Just disconnect from everybody and say, I'm going to start over. I'm going to go to the lake. I'm going to go to the beach, go to the ocean, going to go climb on a mountain. Disconnect and say, okay, let's act as if none of these people are in my life and they can't influence me. Who am I then? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Have fun.